Cicely, and I host this featured hour here on the Meet Me live streaming community every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm so excited to be talking to you all today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a show. It's very special to me. And today we have a very special topic. It's something I haven't done before. I don't think I have. This is episode 33 of Own It. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. This is one of my favorite days of the week because I get to connect with you, connect with my live streaming friends community. And if you're wondering, if you're new here and you're wondering, who is this girl? What is Own It all about? Well, let me give you a little bit of a backstory about myself. My name is Cicely. I am Cuban. I am a former Miss Cuba. In the last 10 years, I have been in the entertainment industry. I live in Los Angeles currently, and I still work as a model, a ring girl for boxing events, and TV hosting. I do acting. I've done it all when it comes to entertainment. And what I'm doing with Own It is I am bringing all of that knowledge to you, my streaming community, so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves. And the intention with the show is that we can own the uniqueness of who we are, so we can actually become better people, better streamers, better at whatever it is that we do. And that is my intention with Own It, okay? In the 10 years that I've been in entertainment, I have figured out that the sauce, the secret ingredient to doing everything and accomplishing anything you want is to truly own who you are, own that uniqueness, own whatever makes you different, because that what makes you different, if you own it, is what's going to make you successful in life, okay? So thank you so much. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Own It. My name is Cicely, aka that Cuban girl. Please connect with me on Instagram, DM me. I do get back to everyone within 48 hours. And if you would like to be a guest on Own It, just connect with Emoji J. He's very active in the comment chat box. Connect with him. That's him. There you go. Send them a message, etc. He'll get you on the guest list. Okay, we always look for guests for every Tuesday, and I love meeting my fellow streamers, my fellow people from here, from the live streaming community. Okay, so today I have two amazing guests, and the topic of the day is something that gets me really excited. And it was inspired by two things. It was inspired by, of course, my guest's bio, because, before the show, I ask my guests always to send me a short bio about themselves, because I want to get to know them a little bit. Not a lot, not enough to not want to interview them and have this conversation with them, but I do want to get to know them a little bit. I want to know what moves them, who they are, what their background is, and these two women are amazing. So the topic of the day is owning your struggles to find meaningful relationships. And I don't know if I've ever done a show on here about relationships, but we'll get a little bit more into that later. We'll dive deeper into that a little bit later. I see that a lot of you guys are tuning in right now, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the favorites, for the love, the support, the likes, the hearts, the gifts, absolutely everything. Thank you so, so much. Every single little thing, every single act of support really helps, and not just me, but my guests as well. Okay, I do want to say, please be respectful to the chat. I do have bouncers on here. Be respectful to myself and my guests. The intention with Own It is to keep it inspirational, helpful, to give you tips that we all can use, and for us to share our stories. And if you cannot relate to me, because I know not everyone can relate to me and my story, because we're all different, right? At least you can relate to one or two of my guests. Thank you again for being here. If you're just tuning in, this is Own It. This is the show where I share my experience in entertainment, my tips, my tools, everything I've learned with you, so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we truly are. And I want to say a couple of things. I want to invite you to please be part of the show. Please, if you have questions or if you want to be part of the conversation, feel free to write it in the chat box, because I see it all. I see everything. And a lot of times when you guys have questions and you guys interact on the show, I actually address those with my guests, and kind of we keep the conversation going. Also, please stick around towards the end of the show, because I will be doing something I usually do every Tuesday, and that is, whoever is my #1 gifter supporter of the stream, I am going to welcome you to my bouncing community on here. So you'll become my bouncer. In case that you're already a bouncer, then you get to assign somebody else to be a bouncer. And if you're not respectful, well, you get kicked out of the stream. That's just what happens on here. So do remember, this is a feature show. Keep it clean, keep it amazing, and keep it positive. Okay, guys. I think my connection's a little slow. Let me. Sorry, guys. I apologize for that. I was trying to turn my Wi-Fi on and it didn't work. I'm back. I'm back. But, you know, we keep it going. It's a live show. It is what happens when you're live. Anyways, the topic of today is your struggles to find meaningful relationships. So we're going to be talking about that in just a few minutes. Do stay towards the end of the show. And I want to ask my guest, my first guest, to please request the chat box. If she's around, let's see. Are you around? Is she here right now? Emoji, is she here? Do you know? Yes, thank you. Anyways, you guys, there she is. There she is. Yeah, her. Please request the chat box. My first guest today, it is a woman that she's been on Meet Me for 3 years. She's had a feature show on here. We'll talk to her a little bit more about that. And she actually quit her job to find something more meaningful in life. So welcome, Megan and Mimosa.
Hello.
Hi, I love your background, Megan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for being here. I love that I get to know you today. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I'm 34 years old. I have a 13-year-old son, and I've been working the same job for 17 years. And I finally decided I was going to quit because I needed to do something different with my life and take a new path. So I've been streaming on here for 3 years, but the first year I really didn't. I just kind of like explored a little bit, but I didn't really know what it was all about. But got a lot farther and met a lot of new people, a lot of friendly, people that keep coming back in. And it's nice to just make new friends and enjoy chatting with new people. So,
I love that. So what made you finally quit your job? And you did mention to me that you were looking for something more meaningful. Do you know what that is?
something that inspires me to do more art and be more inspirational for others and bring more positivity into the community. So,
Do you think that streaming on Meet Me like gives you that?
I mean, so far it has.
That's amazing. So when it comes to, finding meaningful relationships and connections, have you found a lot of those on here?
Friendships, but not relationships. No, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean like friendships and relationships in
Yeah,
general. Like, yeah, cool. I
yeah.
love. Or do you think, are
No
you
lasting
looking for
relationships.
love on, are you looking for love on the Meet Me streets?
Not really.
I love that. No, I had to ask that just for fun. So what else do you do? So you mentioned that you have or you had a feature show.
I've had one feature show so far.
What was it about?
Um, Life learning lessons.
And what inspired you to create that?
I didn't create it. Another woman did.
Okay. What was your favorite
I was
part
just
about it?
featured on there. I was just talking about like the dangers of moving in new people, like as in roommates and stuff. Like you have to be careful who you move into your house. So that's what I talked about. Hello.
That's amazing. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Own It. If you're just tuning in, thank you so much for being here. This is your feature show with me, that Cuban girl, that happens here exclusively in the live stream community every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. If you're here for my lovely guests, I'm very grateful that you're here. Welcome. If I don't know you, nice to meet you. If you're a returning friend, hello, welcome back. I'm talking to Megan Mimosa right now. I don't know her, I just met her. And, I think her story is really interesting because we're talking about owning your struggles and your journey in order to find meaningful connections. And she just shared with us that she has finally quit her job she has for 17 years to do something more meaningful. So, Megan, when it comes to that, what do you think you've had to own in your life in order to find that meaning that you were looking for?
Um, I had to own everything that I was speaking about and basically, you know, dedicate my time and effort and like actually put it forward and not just be like half-assed. You can't really just kind of give it anything, you know, halfway through. You have to give it your all. And sometimes like it would be like a struggle with my anxiety, but like I recently with this app I've gotten over that. So that's one thing I'm actually really grateful for with this app is because like I got over a lot of different things with it. So
And I hear that from a lot of the streamers that I talk to. A lot of my guests say the same thing, where the app has helped them, or streaming in general has helped them overcome something, whether they're shy and now they're not, they're more open, or they have more friends and more connections. And I think that's amazing. It's done something very similar to me as well. So I love connecting with, other people that feel the same way. Do
oh
you
yeah.
think Do you think that, like, what's your favorite thing about when you stream, like the feedback that you get from people?
I get a lot of positive feedback, but then sometimes I don't. Like it just depends on the person because of their intentions on coming into the stream. So I'll have really nice people come in and say positive things to me and thank you for being on the stream and everything like that. But then there's other people that come in that are real negative, so I have to boot them out. But you're gonna have good and bad. So you have to kind of like go through your whoever comes through.
Yeah, but that's
Pretty
just
much.
life.
And that's life in general. You have to kind of weed out the bad people.
Oh,
Keep the
1000.
positivity around.
Yeah, 1000%. I so agree with that. No, and I love that that's a good takeaway. And I think that's another part of the journey too, right? When we stream, we do something like what we do, we have to actually be okay with the negativity and the rejection and the trolls, and that's totally a part of that. But I think it shapes us
Yep,
into better people.
it does. Absolutely.
I love that. So what do you think it's your next step now that you've quit? How long ago did you quit your job?
It's been exactly a month ago now.
Wow, how do you feel about all that? The new beginning.
It's different because I've been working for so long that I never really knew what being like just free and not having to work every day, like Monday through Friday, dedication to that and like being around kids every day because I did childcare. So it was a lot. Like I took on 3 jobs at the end and then I was like, well, I kind of need to do something different. So I'm glad I kind of walked away from it and I'm starting my new journey.
I love that. I'm so excited for you and I wish you the best. And please plug in. I don't know if you have any plugins or anything you want to tell everybody.
Mesmeric Menace on Instagram. Um, I don't know. I can't think of any other ones right now.
Okay, well, everybody please favorite Megan Mimosa and make sure
Oh,
that
my
you follow.
auction. On the 28th. Yes. That one's coming up here soon. What's that one called?
Okay, so
Remember?
you have an auction on the 28th with who? By yourself or with other people?
No, with yeah, it's a meet and greet.
Mesh. Okay, I love that. Awesome. Well, thank you, Megan. Thank you for your time. Hopefully you're still around and available later on. I like to have both my guests come back in the box if possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. It was so good to meet you. Thanks for sharing.
Good to meet you too. Thank you.
See you later. Okay, my loves. Well, hello, hello, hello. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Welcome to Own It. Welcome to this featured hour with me, that Cuban girl, every single Tuesday, exclusively on the live streaming community at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. If you are new on here, thank you. You're so welcome. I love that you're here. Thank you for your time, for tuning in, for watching. If you're new on here, my name is Cicely. I go by that Cuban girl, and I have been in the entertainment industry for the last 10 years. And what I do with Own It is I bring my experience in entertainment to the live streaming community so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we really are. I have really learned in these 10, 12 years that I've been in front of the cameras, from modeling, ring girl, TV hosting, I'm a former Miss Cuba, pageants, all that stuff. I've learned that you cannot be successful until you truly learn how to own who you are and embrace those things that make you you, because we are all unique and beautiful in our own different ways. And so this is what I do with Own It. I'm so grateful that you're here. If you are a new friend, it's nice to meet you. Please make sure you hit that favorite button, not just for me, but for my guests as well. And make sure you connect with me on Instagram. I DM everyone within 48 hours. And I would love to connect with absolutely everyone on here. If you can, Emoji J, if you can drop my Instagram on here real quick, thank you. And if you would like to be a guest on my show, please make sure to contact my amazing admin, Emoji J. Also, make sure you we have a lot coming up on the show. Basically, I just finished talking to my first guest, Megan Mimosa, and she was so sweet. I loved getting to know her. And now I'm going to be sharing with you the quote of the day, which is based on the topic of the day. Every single Tuesday, we have a different topic because yes, it's all about owning who we are, but there are branches to that, right? There are so many different things we can talk about when it comes to owning who we are. And so that's what I do with my guests. We all share our life stories, our life struggles, what makes us us, and we kind of share that with you and take it from there, right? So after the quote of the day, I'm going to be welcoming my second guest for the day, and a lot of you may know her. She's right there right now. Thank you so much, Deanie. But before I do that, let me just let you know that please stay towards the end of the show, because at the end of the show, whoever is my top gifter of the stream, just as a thank you, I'm going to be welcoming you to my bouncing community for my streams. Okay, so every time I stream, you get to be a bouncer. If you're cool, you stay forever. If you're not cool, then I'm sorry. It's only going to be a couple days, you know. But that's just my way of saying thank you for just the support and just for being here and for this beautiful community that we're building together. All right. So without further ado, I am going to be sharing the quote of the day, which is, it goes as follow. And if you see me look into the sides, because I have a notebook, I say it all the time. I script absolutely everything, every single show. It's on paper. So I apologize, but I am reading, okay? So the quote of the day is by Tony Robbins, who is one of my mentors. I am currently taking a course on his platform Mastermind. I'm taking the Matthew McConaughey road trip course, and I love Tony Robbins. If you don't know who Tony Robbins is, please look him up, YouTube him, look for his videos if you're looking for motivation or first steps or tips on how to do life, basically, right? I highly advise you to go look him up. So the quote of the day by Tony Robbins goes as follow. One sec. It goes, the only way a relationship will last is if you see it as a place that you go to give and not a place that you go to take. I'm going to read it again. The only way a relationship will last is if you see it as a place that you go to give and not a place that you go to take. Tony Robbins. Thank you so much, you guys, for all the love and support. I want to let you know I see you all. I see you. I see you all. I just, because it's a feature show, I cannot acknowledge every single one of you, but I see it all and I appreciate you so much. So the reason I like that quote is because today the topic is owning your struggles to find meaningful relationships. And there's a reason why I found that quote very interesting, especially for today. Earlier, I was watching an interview by J Lo, and I don't know if you guys follow J Lo, or I usually don't really follow celebrity stuff, but I don't know if you guys know, she actually just reunited a couple of years ago with Ben Affleck, who is the love of her life, right? And that was after 20 years of them being separated. And I was watching an interview with J Lo very recently, and she said something that really struck a chord with me in a positive way. She basically was explaining how in the 20 years that before reuniting with Ben Affleck, who's the love of her life, she realized that she had not been able to get it right because she just needed to learn self-love. She needed to learn herself first. She needed to truly find herself and find all the puzzle pieces and see how they, what she was missing. Like, she was explaining how she would get one thing right and then something else wasn't right, and it took her a long time to get that together. And so for me, when I hear this quote, the only way a relationship will last is if you see it as a place that you go to give and not a place that you go to take. The first thing I thought about was, well, you need to first give yourself a lot of love yourself before you can even give it to somebody else. Because if you don't do that, as corny as it sounds, then you're never going to be able to truly allow somebody in, first of all, and allow and then also love somebody else, right? You have to love you first. And sometimes the journey, it takes a couple months, a year, 2 years, 10 years. Sometimes the journey takes longer. And I think, based on her bio, nobody knows this better than my second guest for the day. Thank you, guys. I see all of your comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So she, I believe, knows this very well because she shared with me a little bit in her bio earlier, her story a tiny bit about getting divorced and taking care of her 22-year-old son and being a streamer on the app and talking about relationships. She's also a social worker by trade, and I'm really excited to talk with her. So please, everybody, welcome to the show today, Deanie Baby.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? So before we start with the interview, I was asked to do something because I hear it's your birthday, or it was your birthday. So I want to sing, everybody join in. Hi, Cornell. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cicely. Happy birthday to you. Yay! I hope you have an amazing new year of life.
Thank you so much. That was really sweet. Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday, and I'm really excited. I have this new birthday energy. It's a new year. I'm just really excited. I appreciate you singing, my love.
21
Thank
looks
you.
good on you. So
Thank you so much. So, Deanie, I know you've shared with me a little bit about who you are in your story, but do you mind sharing with people?
sure. My name's Deanie. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I've been streaming like 2.5, 3 years. I don't know. Whenever COVID started, that's when I started streaming. But I live in Denver by trade. As you said, I'm a social worker. I've been with the county that I'm working at right now for 25 years doing child protection. I work on the side at a nursing home, as well as a receptionist, working with a lot of people with dementia and things like that. Let's see, I was a single mom. My son's now 22. He'll be 23 next month. But I raised him pretty much on my own. His father started doing drugs and drinking really heavy during my pregnancy. he went through this thing where he wanted to kind of, I guess, go back to his own childhood in a sense and connect with old friends, an old girlfriend who was a drug dealer. And so we had a pretty rough relationship, to finally, I just couldn't do it anymore. So when my son was about 5, I ended the relationship. We never married, thank goodness, but it was rough. Like, it was rough on my son. I put him through the Betty Ford Kids program so that he could learn what addiction was and that he didn't have to follow that path, and he didn't cause it, he couldn't fix it. So I spent 11 years after that, from the time he was 5 till he was 16. I didn't date. I decided that I wanted to make myself better. So I went to college and got my social work degree since I was already in the field. He played 2 seasons of football. My son is a football genius. So, um, you know, being full-time mom, working full-time, going to school full-time, didn't leave a lot of room for much else. And so I just worked on me, on bettering me. And, like I said, I got a degree out of it. I have the most amazing young son that, I mean, he's beautiful. He's an incredible human being. And, that's pretty much it. I started dating after he was 16 and have dated off and on the last few years. But,
So it makes it all worthwhile, right? The journey, everything we go through, as long as our kids, I don't have kids, but I talk to a lot of mothers, especially on here. So it makes it worthwhile if, as long as your kids come out better than we are, right?
right. I mean, people will tell me, well, why did you do that? Like, you didn't have to not date. No, I didn't have to. I got to. Like, I would not trade those 11 years that I was able to invest in my son's life for anything. Like, he was so worth it. And he was just here a few minutes ago. I wish he would have stayed so you could have met him, because he's an incredible young man. And it's not because he's mine. Everybody tells me, like, he's so compassionate, and he's, got good advice for people, and he's a good example, role model for kids. And so, that makes it worth it. There's no man that could take the place of that.
Yeah, and so when you told me a little bit about your story, that's also why I wanted to make the topic today about relationships, because it doesn't necessarily always have to be about romantic relationships, but it's also the relationships with our friends, with our kids, right? With people that we love. Hi, Legend. And I wanted to make the show around that, especially because you're a social worker, and I feel like if somebody would be amazing at talking about these things, it would be you.
No,
So, yeah. So, what do you think it's one of the something that comes, you know, to your mind first when I ask you this? But one of the first um, lessons that you've learned in the last 10, 11 years without dating that you are really grateful for right now for you.
you know what? Because I think one of the things that I learned through this is it definitely does not take 11 years to um, get rid of baggage and to not bring baggage into a relationship, but I really have learned the value of that. Um, because in the last 6 years of dating, I've dated a few different men, but I really can proudly say, like, I don't go into something carrying baggage. I give myself time to heal, time to shake it off, and time to move on. Because I think when you carry baggage or you just jump from relationship to relationship, you really miss out on defining your own boundaries and defining what you need for you. You know what I mean? Because now going into relationships, I can meet someone and, go on a date, whatever, have conversation, but, this isn't for me. This person doesn't meet up to what I really want. And I know what I want, and I know he's out there. It's just, I'm not going to settle. I learned I don't have to settle because I'm something special. I've got a degree. I'm an amazing person. I have a lot to offer. I know what I bring to the table, but it took time to figure that out.
Yes, and I love that so much. I myself got out of a long-term relationship last year. And yeah, and I'm in that same journey of not settling, knowing, figuring out still what I want, but I know what I bring to the table, and I can totally relate to that. And that's why I love this episode so much today, because relationships are such an important part of our lives. And like I said, not just romantic relationships, even though romantic relationships really also shape truly our character, because I believe that through romantic relationships, through pain, through growth, is the only way that we end up figuring out who we really are and what we want.
Yes, and that's one thing about this app. I have made some amazing friends. A couple years ago, several of them flew out to Denver, and we just had a blast for a week. I got to show them my city, and we went and ate at fun places, and partied a little bit. We had a good time, and so you're right. It's not just the romantic relationships, but it's these friendships that we develop. There's a streamer on here, Top Badge Coley Cole. I don't know if you know her, but as far as I'm concerned, she's my little sister. And so, don't cross her. You know what I mean? Like, I joke because you know how it gets on the app. Sometimes you get people that can be ugly, and I'm like, don't be ugly with my sister. I'll have to come unglued. But to me, even though we've never met face to face, the friendship that we developed through the app, she's my sister, and every in every way that a sister could be, as far as I'm concerned. And so relationships are so important to the value of our life. That the quality of our life is based on not what we do, but it's who we can be to other people. I'm one of those people that you hear people say, oh, I'll pray for you. Somebody saying, oh, I need this or this, and everybody's saying, oh, I'll pray for you. And me, I'm the kind of person that if one of my friends or family has a need, I don't just say I'll pray for you. If I can meet the need, then I'll be the one to bring food or do whatever, because just we have to value each other and value the relationships we have.
Yeah, and actions over words, right? Hi, everybody. If you're just tuning in, thank you. Welcome to Own It. Welcome to this featured hour exclusively here on the
Exactly,
live
Bethany.
streaming community. I am that Cuban girl, and this is Own It. This is your feature show that happens here every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. And every single Tuesday, we have a different topic. But the intention of Own It is so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves by owning the uniqueness of who we are. I always have two amazing guests who share their stories, their struggles, who they are, what they stream about, etc., what makes them them. And I mean, my intention is if you can't relate to me, which I understand sometimes you're not going to, you can at least relate to one or two of my guests. And right now, I'm speaking with beautiful Deanie Baby, and she's a social worker. She's also a streamer, and we're talking about owning your struggles to find meaningful relationships. And I think a lot of people struggle with relationships. I do want to say quickly, I want to acknowledge every single one of you who's here right now. I see the chat box. I see my returning friends, Bethany and Legend. Shout out to you guys. It's good to see you. And my new friends on here, welcome. Oh my gosh, thank you. It was my birthday yesterday. So thank you so much, you guys. I do want to say that I'm really excited today that I get to talk about relationships, like I was saying earlier, because relationships are a really important part of what makes us who we are. And for me, it's definitely helped me. Thank you so much, guys, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate you all. So Deanie, would you say that the one of the things that has helped you, you don't have to agree with this, this is just a question, right? Do you think your experience with your and you said he's not your husband, but like your previous relationship really helped you in becoming the woman that you are today and the woman that you bring to your streams, or no?
You know what? I think everything that passes through our life, everyone that passes through our life leaves something. My son's father and I, it took time for us to be able to, I don't say that we're friends, but to be able to um, I don't know. To people, I mean, we worked together later on some part-time jobs that we did later in life, but I think he helped me to see, um, even though the relationship ended because of his addiction, there were parts of me and maybe things that I could have done that maybe had been more patient, um, because I wasn't the one with the drug addiction. So sometimes I think I felt like I was a little bit, not that I was better than him, but I felt like maybe I was the better person in the relationship, when the truth is, we both brought things that broke apart that relationship. I could have been a little nicer. I think, in the beginning, I was very nice, but then over time with the addiction, things built up. And so then I became, kind of mean sometimes with my words. And I think it all, at one point towards the end, got to a place where I would say hurtful things and almost be proud of it. Like, ooh, I told him that. You know what I mean? I would talk to my friends and, yeah, this is what I told him. And I look back and that's not the person I wanted to be. You know what I mean? So, um, I think in that sense of being able to look inward, it's helped me to be a better person, because I don't ever want to be that ugly person again. I don't ever, like, even with relationships now, I was dating someone who, I don't know, the relationship wasn't so good for a minute, and I was starting to get like, some bitter feelings, and I got out of it right away. Instead of the 5 years I spent in this other relationship, I got out of it right away because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be that person anymore. To me, um, I think, thank you for the roses. Um, to me, I think men want us to be their peace, not a piece, but to be their peace. And if we go into relationships and we have attitudes and we're ugly and we're entitled, that doesn't build anything. We got to help build them up, and in return, they'll build us up. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street. It's not a one-way thing. And it had gotten to the point with my son's father where I wasn't building him up anymore. I was tearing him down. And that tells you that relationship went on too long.
Oh yeah, and thank you for sharing that. And I can totally relate to that because I found that in my past relationship as well, I became somebody I'm really not. And my one rule right now, I have a couple of rules after that, but my one rule is first, never stop being who you really are for anybody else. And the second you feel that you're becoming somebody else that you're not, stop and just let it go. Um, and then secondly, also never stop doing you, never stop hanging out with your friends, never stop enjoying your life for somebody else. And so I love that you're sharing your story because I think we can all learn from that. And ultimately, we all learn from relationships, right? Like I think that's where I grow the most is through my friends, through my relationships, through really paying attention and being aware so I know what I like, what more importantly, what I don't like, so I don't apply those things.
Right. And like now I'm dating someone, we're not committed in a way that he's here every day or anything like that. We're not dating other people, but we haven't put a name on anything. Um, it's been a slow process. He works out of town sometimes, and he had just gotten out of a divorce when we met. So I didn't want to put pressure. I enjoy when we hang out, but there's not any rules to anything right now. And we are just keeping it cool. And you know what? It's one of the best relationships I've ever had. You know what I mean? We truly, when we're together, our time is amazing. We have good conversation. We don't always agree, but we don't fight. Like, we can agree to disagree. There was a period of time in between, a situation that he stayed here for a few weeks, and we get along great. But we're just not at that place of making it something bigger than what it is. And there's not a need to put a label on it because it just is what it is. And the respect that's there. He just got back from out of town, and on the way home, he had to stop here because, like, I missed you. You know what I mean? And so it's just something we're just letting it happen.
Yeah, and sometimes that works better because there's no pressure. So I love that. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Own It. I see you all. I see all the gifts. I'm so appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What an amazing birthday that you guys are here, and the hearts and the support, and that you guys are loving the conversations with my guests today. This is Own It. If you're just tuning into the show, we still have a few more minutes left, but this is the show with me, that Cuban girl, where we talk about the things that makes us us. And the intention with the show is so you and I can become the best versions of ourselves by owning the uniqueness of who we truly are. Because we're all unique in our own different ways, and we just need to learn how to own that, right? So today's topic is owning your struggles to find meaningful relationships. And I love that I've been talking to Deanie Baby this whole time. She's been such a refreshing guest to speak with. And thank you for sharing everything, Deanie. Before I let you go, because I do want to bring you back up if you have time, of course, at the end of the show with Megan. But before you go, would you like to give any shout outs to anything you have going on?
I do. Actually, I'm one of those streamers that I stream heavy and then I pull back. And recently, in March, my dog passed away. And so to keep myself busy, I got a second job, which hasn't left a lot of time for streaming. But Saturday, Holy Cole, the one I told you it's like my sister, is hosting a karaoke auction. My time is 7:20. I haven't streamed a lot lately, so if people want to come in, you can probably win me for like $1 or something. Come, give a rose or something. But on Saturday, in my stream, because we're doing a battle style, 7:20. If you feel like coming to support, please do. And if not, just put lip emojis in the comments. That means a lot to me too. So anyway,
I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time and being here and sharing your story with all of us. I have truly enjoyed getting to know you.
You too. I'm glad to know you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll be seeing you in a few minutes, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. And to all of you, my loves, welcome again. Welcome to Own It. I'm going to, before I continue, I need to give a shout out to that you guys are here supporting the show. I want to let you know that I see you all. And if I don't acknowledge each and one of you personally, individually, I apologize, but it is a feature show. That is one of the rules, that we have to be respectful towards our guests and just stick to the show segments and rules. But I do want to let you know, I see you all, I see the comments, my comments are on, I see the gifts, the hearts, absolutely everything, the favorites. I do want to say that, favorites are very important, and just all the support for feature shows in general, and I'm so grateful. Somebody said that she's the proper presenter, and I do want to give myself a shout out real quick, because I do have a show that's coming out this year on the PBS network, in which I hosted one of the 6 episodes of the series, and I'm going to be letting you guys know when that's going to air. But TV hosting is what I do, one of the things I do, but it is definitely my passion. So if you follow me on Instagram, you can, keep up with everything. I'm very active on Instagram. My friends on here, Scan, Legend, Bethany, you guys all know I'm always on Instagram, more than on Meet Me, to be honest. We got to work on that, but I'm always on social media, and I also have a YouTube channel in which I do movie reviews. So please feel free to connect with me and just say hello, because I'm very friendly and I'm open, and if you're respectful, I always DM you back. So I just want to say thank you for being here. This is Always With Me, That Cuban Girl, and in this show, I hope you guys become the best versions of ourselves through owning the uniqueness of who we are. So I'm going to give a shout out to my top gifters of the stream. And I do want to let you know that at the end of the show, stick around, because whoever is my top gifter gets to become my bouncer, just as a thank you. And if that person is already a bouncer, then they get to assign somebody else on here to be a bouncer. Okay. So I do want to say, on number 1, let me go to the gifters. Okay, perfect. So number 10, Steve Blue Color. Number 9, Megan Mimosa. Number 8, Anthony. Number 7, Brody. Number 6, official that guy. Number 5, techie gym guy. Number 4, my dear friend Scantron. Make sure you favor him, please. Number 3, Deanie baby. Thank you so much, my second guest of the day. Number 2, my streaming BFF, a legend. Make sure you check out his show every single Monday on here. And number 1, Casey. Thank you so much, Casey. I appreciate the support and the love. And for all of you guys, I'm really grateful that you're all here. So we're not done with the show yet. So we still have a few more minutes, but I do want to go and give you guys and talk about the tip of the day, because that's just what we do on the show, right? So today's topic in the show it's been all about relationships. I don't think in these 33 shows, I don't think I have done a relationship topic until right now. And so I'm really excited because I do believe and I know that relationships are the one thing that shapes who we are, at least most of us, they're the thing that helps us grow the most. And they're the thing that can either make us or break us. Sometimes when we go through really hard breakups, you can go into the cave and never come out, or you can go into the cave for a couple of weeks and then come out stronger than ever. And I'm definitely in that boat. Just being vulnerable with you guys, as I usually am. I was in a relationship till last year, and it has been the most painful, but also it's been my teacher, right? So, and I believe, it all connects to what we do professionally. That's why I love this show so much, because it doesn't matter what I've done in front of the camera and pageantry and whatever. If you're not okay here and here, then you're just not going to be successful. And if you're successful and you're not okay in your heart and in your mind, then at some point, I believe that success is going to catch up with you, and you're going to have to do the inner work, right? So that's why I believe that doing the inner work and truly focusing on yourself is the absolute most important thing to do. So with that said, I gave you guys the example earlier about J-Lo and the interview that I heard. And, J-Lo is one person that I truly admire because she's been through it all, right? But she's also extremely successful. But she openly talks about it. She talks about it openly now, where she's in a whole different place than she was when she was younger, when she was like around my age. And now she's like 52, I believe, 53. And she is now realizing that self-love and all of that things are the most important thing. So I have 3 tips for you guys today that I personally am implementing in my own life, and I'm learning and I'm growing through it, right? The first one is love yourself first. I talk about this all the time, and for me, it's the one thing that has truly helped me and shaped me. Learning to love yourself first, to not settle, to have boundaries, to know what you want and what you don't want, to speak your truth, speak openly and honestly, and to be a little selfish. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, it's okay to be a little selfish and do the things you want to do. And as long as it makes you happy and it helps you grow, just be a little selfish. That's okay. But the second tip would be get yourself together first. Okay. If your finances are hurting, if you're hurting, just get yourself together first before you can actually join forces with somebody else. Because as previously mentioned, how do you give to others if you don't know how to give to yourself first? Get to know yourself. Build a tribe, build your community, build your business, build your passions, and then you're able to join somebody else and be healthy together. Ultimately, that is really, really, really how you build healthy relationships, not the other way around. If you're broken and confused and down and sad, that's all you're going to bring into that relationship, and then you wonder why it didn't work out. Well, it didn't work out because what you could actually control, which is you didn't control, right? So, and my number 3 tip, before I answer your questions, I see them in the comment chat, in the chat box, sorry. Number 3 would be, and my favorite actually, the journey's the real destination, not the happy ending. That fairy tale happy ending that everyone talks about and wants. Even when people get married and they have the beautiful celebration and wedding, that is not the ending, you guys. That is literally the beginning of everything. So the journey is a real destination in my eyes, because the journey is the most beautiful thing. Enjoy that journey. When you're first falling in love with somebody and you're falling in love with yourself, or when you're creating building a business, working on your passions, like right now I'm building my YouTube channel, right? That is the journey. Once you get to the 100,000 subscribers and you got that YouTube plaque, is that how you call it, plaque? I don't know, the YouTube little thing that you get, then that feels great. But the destination and the journey is a real destination. It's what really excites you every day. So I think that is really, really, really important in order to create better relationships, and finding yourself through all those relationships. And if you're just tuning in right now, welcome to Own It. Welcome to Own It. Welcome to this featured hour with me, that Cuban girl, that happens every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time, on the live streaming community, very specifically and exclusively on here. If you are on Meet Me, I do have my Instagram icon button. You can just click on it and send me a quick DM, and I get back to you within 48 hours. I do like to connect with all of you guys. If you guys have feedback or tips or comments or anything you want to talk about, then let me know, okay? And I would love to connect with all of you. Still stick around till the very end of the show. We have 5 minutes left, because I will be saying who is my number one gifter of the day, who gets to be my bouncer, join my bouncing community. And I do want to say, I might be mistaken, but I think today has been that day in which I have received the most favorites on here. I think when we started, we're at like 3,000, and now we're like plus 64, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm very, very grateful for all the support, for all the care, the hearts, absolutely everything. Thank you guys. So without further ado, before we end the show, I do want to ask my two guests today, Megan Mimosa and Deanie Baby, to join the box if they're still around for final thoughts. Let me see if they're still here. If not, that's okay. But let me see. Okay, they're both here. Amazing.
Hello.
Here we go. Hello, welcome back.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank
Well,
you.
You're very welcome. I wanted to just, to end the show in a high note. I just wanted to say thank you again for being here. You're both incredible women. Thank you for sharing your story and being vulnerable with all of us. And we can all learn from each other, right? So I love that we did this. Please tell everyone last words. If you have advice, if you have anything you want to shout out to everyone, let everybody know.
I think for me, I would just say, I think I put in the comments earlier, is you got to be the one to find the one. So take time for yourself and truly take time to, whatever it is that would be a barrier to a new relationship, do what you need to do for you. Be your best you before you give that to someone else.
Absolutely.
Because relationships do take a piece of you. And so if you're giving too much, you're not going to have enough left for yourself. So take time for you. That's my biggest advice. Take time for you.
So also, just like always keep a positive attitude, even in the darkest moments, because you will sooner or later be back in those moments where you're happy and feel loved, and it's not always going to feel like that. So just keep pushing on, even whenever it feels like it's not going to be okay.
Right.
Yeah, I love that advice. That is so, so true and accurate. I love what Deanie said too, that, relationships take a piece of you. So be wise to who you give that to, right?
Yes.
So please shout out. I know, Megan, you have an auction, and Deanie, just shout out all your stuff one last time before we go.
The 28th, I have
Saturday,
an auction.
7:20. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I
You're
just have
fine.
one thing. Saturday, 7:20. Coley Cole's karaoke auction. Just come to my stream. It'll be fun. It's one of the funnest auctions because I get to sing something. So
The 28th, I have an auction. Not sure what it's called right this moment because I have a bunch of other stuff that I have planned to. I need to start writing everything down. I have some of the stuff wrote down, but I'm kind of new to this, so I'm learning.
It's okay. Well, thank you so much to both of you. I've really enjoyed talking to you, and thank you for your time again. Everybody go favorite Megan and Deanie. Go check out their streams. This is the whole point of future shows, is to support each other, put each other out there, plug each other in, and share conversations and inspiration. And hopefully it helps somebody out there. It inspires somebody out there. That's certainly what I want to do with Own It. So I'm really grateful that you're both here. Once again, thank you so much. And to all of you guys who tuned in, don't go anywhere because I'm going to let go of of my guest, but you stay because I'm still going to be nominating one person as my bouncer, okay? But thank you so much, my beautiful guests today. I will be seeing you guys too.
happy birthday again.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, my loves. So don't go anywhere because, as promised, we have reached the end of the show, sadly, but that is totally okay because we're here every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. You and I in this featured hour exclusively on the live streaming community. Once again, plug in with me on Instagram, DM me, check out all the other stuff that I do. I love staying connected with each and every single one of you guys. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Thank you for all the birthday cheers and the singing and just everything. You guys have really showed me a lot of love today, and I'm so grateful. So like I said, before I go, I need to give a shout out to my top gifter of the stream and welcome that person to my bouncing community. I do need to be on here more often, but like I said, I am always on Instagram, so make sure you connect with me over there as well, okay? So without further ado, let me give a shout out. Let me see. I see you guys still gifting. Thank you. Happy birthday, that Cuban girl. Thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate you so much. So let's see. Let me click on this. Okay. So, well, hopefully this is still accurate. It should be, right? It should be. Okay. So number 5, Tacky Gym Guy. Thank you. Number 4, Scan. Number 3, Deanie Baby. Thank you. Number 2, Legend. And number 1, and my new bouncer, Casey. Casey, welcome to my bouncing community. Thank you so much for being here, and happy birthday. I see that your birthday was on the 12th. I love that. Happy belated birthday. You are now one of my bouncers. I really appreciate the support on my stream. I appreciate you being here. No, so thank you. No, I appreciate you, and happy belated birthday, fellow Taurus, as well. And you guys, that is it for the show today. If you are new and you're just getting to know me, thank you. Nice to meet you. And if you are one of my returning friends on here, then I appreciate you returning and supporting the show as well. And we'll see you here next Tuesday, so you and I can own it. Ciao.